Hello, I'm Paula Lowe from South Sound Wedding and Event Magazine. I'm here at Hotel RL in Olympia, Washington, and today I'm going to talk to you about planning for your wedding and going to wedding shows. This is a copy of our 2017 magazine. It's called South Sound Wedding and Event Magazine, and again, we're in Olympia, Washington. So every year, more than 40% of engagements occur between Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day. Directly following engagement season is the wedding show season. Most wedding shows are scheduled for January and February. For most people, the biggest party they've ever planned is a birthday party. When they become engaged, they find themselves planning for a wedding, a reception, and other parties as well, often as large as 100 to 300 people on the most important day of their life. Engagement season is a time of parties, so there are usually engagement parties, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, showers, and wedding day after brunch. To help couples manage their weddings and look for wedding professionals, the wedding shows are a fantastic resource for them. It's a place to help them find the wedding professionals that they need. Most wedding professionals, especially the good ones, will have more than 100 weddings that they've done, and so they have a vast amount of experience. Most shows are set up in a trade show style with fashion shows, prize giveaways, swag bags given to engaged couples. It's a great place to find the wedding professionals you need for your wedding. Before you attend a show, I want to give you a few tips. Research the wedding shows online and in wedding magazines. Find the wedding shows that are within your wedding location. It's best to choose vendors within your geographic location to save on travel costs. Then make a list of the shows that you want to attend, the location, date, and cost. And look at the websites for the wedding shows to find out if they have discounted tickets online. For example, our South Sound wedding show is on February 4th in Olympia, and we offer discounted tickets online at southsoundweddingshow.com, plus details about the show. We also present the West Sound Wedding Show, and it's on January 29th in Bremerton, and you can find discounted tickets at the westsoundweddingshow.com. And both of the wedding shows are listed along with our wedding workshops on weddingandeventmagazine.com. So when you look at those websites, ours, for example, will have stories, photographs, and other helpful tips for you. I wanted to point out that not all wedding shows are the same. Some are more upscale than others. Our shows are presented by our magazine, while others are standalone shows where it's simply a producer presenting a show. Caterers will often hold tastings following the wedding shows, and venues will also host tours. So those are good ways to go and check out the food to see if you like a caterer, or check out a venue and see if you like that venue for your wedding. So it's really helpful to attend the open houses in your area. Most of the time they're free. And once you have selected the wedding shows that you will attend, be sure to purchase advance tickets if they're available. And then there are a few more things you need to do to prepare. For example, bring a list of the wedding professionals that you need. If you already have a florist in mind and maybe a photographer in mind, then when you go to the show, perhaps all you're looking for is a caterer, a DJ, an invitation designer, and some of the other professionals who can help you. So look for them at the show. Talk to them, pick up a business card, look at their portfolio, and set an appointment to meet with them if you like them and sense that you have a good connection with them. Bring your calendar so you can book appointments with the professionals that you like. They are often ready to book meetings with you, and they're happy to do that. Also bring pre-made labels with your name, email, phone number, and your wedding date, so you can quickly sign up for drawings and make appointments. One of the first things that the wedding professionals will ask you is what your wedding date is. If it's during a popular time of the year, for example, summer in the Pacific Northwest is a very popular time to get married, then it could be that they're booked up and they can refer you to someone else, or you just move on and find another wedding professional that you like. So that's why it's important to bring your calendar and bring those labels. It's also a good idea to create your own wedding email, and those are fun to create the couple's maybe first names, or if you have a cutesy name, or use your last names combined or something, and even put the wedding date in it. That way you can track all your wedding emails in one place. It keeps it less confusing. And then both parties in the couple can check the emails. Bring your wedding colors in the form of a swatch of a fabric in case you need to color match. Or if you see a color that you like at the show, and you think, wow, I really like that color, I wonder if it would go with the colors we're planning. That way you've got a swatch right there and you could look at the color and match it. Be sure to wear comfortable shoes because you're going to be walking a lot at the shows, depending on the size of the show. Some shows will take you all day to go through, and some will only take an hour or maybe 2 hours. It depends on how much time you spend talking to the wedding professionals, how many activities there are. For example, if they're fashion shows, if you want to stay for one or both of the shows, but be sure that you're comfortable. And if there are wedding dresses for sale or wedding dresses to try on, be sure that you put a pair of high heels in your bag so that you can see what the dress looks like when you're wearing high heels. Be sure to bring a pen and notepad so you can take notes. And if they give you a list of vendors at the show, you can take notes about the ones you like, or just use your phone or your tablet to take notes. If you have a wedding planning notebook or a Pinterest board that you've started for your wedding, bring it to the show so you can show vendors some of your ideas. They like to see what you're thinking, and they can give you an idea of what they're planning. Be sure to bring your checkbook, your credit card, and your debit card so you can make deposits when you're ready to commit to a vendor. It's best if you attend the show together because there are decisions to be made about making appointments with vendors. You can bring your maid of honor or whomever is helping you with your decisions. Following the show, review all your notes. Be sure you have the appointment dates set on your calendar, and look through your swag bag for special deals, open houses, announcements, and coupons. I heard about somebody that didn't check her bag for a couple of months. Well, by then she missed all the open houses and caterers, tastings, and so on. So be sure you look at the bag right away because those coupons also have deadlines on them, or that you'll miss some of the events. When couples attend our wedding shows, they receive a bag with a complimentary copy of our wedding magazine in it, South Sound Wedding and Event Magazine. Plus, there are promotional materials, products, announcements for open houses, and other wedding events. South Sound Wedding and Event Magazine also presents the South Sound Wedding Workshop. These are free, educational, intimate events for engaged couples. We have one in Olympia, Washington on February 23rd, and one in Tacoma, Washington on March 11th. There are fewer wedding professionals at these, but there's usually plenty of food to sample. There are speakers that are educational and fun to listen to, and you'll learn lots of tips and ideas. Plus, we allow plenty of time to ask questions. We like to have these intimate events because it's a different atmosphere than a wedding show. It's more back and forth where you can ask ideas, you feel comfortable asking questions, and you have more time with the vendors. And there are fewer vendors there, and there's usually only one of every type of vendor. These are very popular events, and they're a lot of fun. They're especially comfortable for people who prefer smaller, intimate events instead of the larger wedding shows. Usually there's food served at these. Sometimes there's lots of food served at these, so you get a good sampling of the food by the caterers or the local venue. When you're researching wedding shows and events, there's a big difference between an open house and a wedding shows, or a local tour and a wedding show. A lot of people are starting to label these smaller events as wedding shows, and I would not categorize them as such. I would say they're more open houses. So don't get caught up in the name of the show. Be sure to do the research and see what kind of an event it is. Look at who is producing the event, how many vendors will be there, and if there's a list, for example, we put a list of all the vendors at our show on our websites, then take a look at it. For example, if there are a lot of one kind of vendor that you don't need, then you can spend time with the other wedding professionals. And if you have plenty of time, go to as many events as you can. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but you can also get a lot of ideas, and it's a good way to meet a lot of different vendors. However, if you want to be more selective, I suggest choosing local, regional wedding shows and 1 to 2 open houses that focus on the ones that feature the wedding professionals that you might want to do business with. When you're trying to decide whether to hire a wedding professional who is local or one who is located farther away, here's a guideline. Some wedding professionals should be local. For example, the caterer, the florist, and the cake baker. You don't want your food to be overcooked or your flowers to wilt or the cake frosting to be melted because it's been in the hot weather for too long because of the the distance that it's had to travel. So many wedding professionals who offer services such as DJs, photographers, officiants, and others often travel a wide geographic region for weddings. They don't need to be local, and many of them won't charge a travel fee because they're used to traveling. But be sure, if they're from far away, be sure that they allow plenty of travel time so they arrive when you need them on your wedding day. They shouldn't arrive, for example, at the time of your wedding. They need to be there hours ahead. And ask them what their plans are for that. How do they plan for traffic? And some areas of the United States have more traffic than others, especially the larger cities. So ask them how they plan for that. So those are my tips for preparing a wedding show. I wish you the best in researching your wedding or event. You can find South Sound Wedding and Event Magazine 2017 on newsstands in the Northwest, and our 2016 magazine is online on weddingandeventmagazine.com, so be sure that you take a look at it. On the same website, you can find real weddings, photographs, more tips, trends, and ideas, plus all the local wedding professionals that we feature at our shows, in our magazine, and on the website. So you can find a lot of resources there. Some people live out of state and they are looking for local resources for planning their wedding in the Pacific Northwest, so we can be a resource for them. My name is Paula Lowe. I'm publisher of South Sound Wedding and Event Magazine, and we're live from Hotel RL Olympia, and I appreciate them hosting me this evening. Good night.